All right, and welcome back to the TNT show. We're here for our recap and predictions at the beginning of the week, as always. A pretty exciting weekend of college football, very interesting. Some teams had some scares, and then there were a good amount of blowouts. But we'll go ahead and get right into it. Tyler, go ahead and kick us off with the first recap on your list.
On recap, first off, I'm going to jump into the LSU UCLA game.
Yeah.
Breaking news on that, Harold Perkins tore his ACL, confirmed today. So, personally, as hard as it is for me to say this, I personally don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. If you want he had 2 tackles the whole game.
Honestly,
the way that we've been using him, I don't really think it's going to change anything. Braden Swinson is playing unbelievable football right now. Yeah, it's obviously going to affect the team. He was the leader of our defense per se, and it's just one of those things. He's a generational player, really good when they use him the way that they should. But
yeah.
It wasn't a pretty game by any means, but we got it done. We got it done. We won I wouldn't say it was a tough game at the beginning, but I will say defense second half lights out. It's just the struggles that we have in the very beginnings.
Yeah. As far as the Harold Perkins injury, I think it's a blow, but like you said, it's not significant because he's been playing really great. So I think that's a positive. But I think he was benefiting more also from the fact that Harold Perkins was on the other side. So is that going to make it tougher for him? I don't think so, because I think they need to adopt that next man up mentality. Whoever comes in for Harold Perkins, just do the best with, the time that you're given, obviously. It's the game, which I watched, like you said, it was a tale of two halves. In the first half, it looked like UCLA wanted to compete and possibly win that game. But in the second half, LSU flipped the switch and defense was playing lights out. Forced three turnovers in the second half, I think.
Yeah, I think so. They were playing really good.
Like I've been saying up until this point, LSU's only real issue is 2 real issues. Obviously, the defense as a whole, you want to play 4 whole quarters of football. That's one thing. Number 2, same thing on the offensive side. Y'all can't come out sluggish in the first half against a team that's going to go and score against y'all's defense almost every time that they touch the ball. So as long as LSU comes out and plays a full 4 quarters of football, they're one of the teams that's really technically pretty hard to beat. Yeah, they just got to come out and be a full 4 quarter football team, not just a second half football team.
Yeah. Who knows? We may be better without Perkins. They didn't really know what to do with him. So
yeah, you never know. Like you said, Swinson's
you think he comes back?
Oh, absolutely not. He's going to the draft. He's finna heal up, get his surgery, do rehab, and then get ready for the draft. He's done. His LSU career is over with.
I didn't know if he might come back.
Nah. Most ACL injuries, you out for at least a year.
No, I meant you think he'll come back next year.
No. He's projected too high.
But yeah, we'll have to see after this week, which South Alabama's not going to be a slouch. But after this week, we jump into SEC play. So, um, really close game. Missouri struggled. They beat Vandy in overtime. I think Missouri's struggling. They're not as good as people are. Either they're not as good as they're making them out to be, or Vandy's a really good team.
I think it's a little bit of both. Because if you look at last week, Boston College gave them a pretty good game, and then this week, I told you in the prediction portion of the last podcast that Vandy was going to give Mizzou a good game, and that's exactly what they did. Their kicker just needed to be
Yeah,
clutch.
there were a lot of missed field goals in that game. I think there were like 6 or 7 by both teams.
Honestly, a majority of the missed field goals were from Missouri, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And
they were.
oh, man, honestly, they really just win the game in regulation if he hits at least 2 of the 5 field goals that he missed.
True.
Well, not 5.
True.
He was like 2 of 5, so he missed like 3.
Yeah, he missed 3, and I think the Vandy guy missed 2, so I think it was like 5.
Yeah.
But Vandy might sneak up and beat some teams because Missouri's supposedly
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I think it's a double-sided thing. On one hand, Vandy's good, but on the other side, Mizzou is a team that's supposed to handle a team like Vandy. So I don't know. Vandy's quarterback is
I
really
don't
good.
know.
I'm gonna
With
just
the
put that out there.
NIL now. Vandy might have a lot of money with them having the hospital and stuff down there. So I don't know what kind of NIL money they got,
Not enough.
but but one thing, this next one we're going to talk about, the USC Michigan game.
Man,
Boy,
man. How do
USC
you
is
let
sorry.
somebody how do you let somebody beat you and they only throw for 32 yards? Literally 32 yards passing. They had almost 300 yards on the ground. There is no reason. And I mean absolutely no reason.
I,
Multiple big runs that they gave up. Like
it happens though. I've seen it happen a few times. I think there was.
Michigan. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think. I think Michigan just found something that was working. I think what Michigan kind of figured is that they're going to have to lean hard on the run game because at quarterback right now it's a roller coaster. So
They they will not be able to do that against Ohio State or like a Iowa, somebody with really good defense. They won't be able to just run the ball all game. Look at Texas. Look what Texas did to them. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't pass, and
yeah,
they got
got
beat by like
clobbered.
what 30? Exactly. So they get the benefit of the doubt because USC couldn't stop the run. Of course, you're not going to go pass when you got 200 plus yards on the ground. I mean, just go with what is working. And
Yeah, Michigan had them beat. They just couldn't stop them when it mattered the most. They had a lead, and then they started playing soft. They were playing to win. They were playing conservative football, but then their offense was starting to get sluggish, and Michigan started running the ball, and then there was nothing they could really do about it.
yeah, I'll applaud USC though because they figured it out in the second half. They fought back. I mean, they still lost, but I just
When a
I
team
like
is running
USC.
the ball like that, it's hard to stop because it's killing your defense. Like
Yeah,
big pass plays aren't that tiring, but when you're getting gashed for 10, 15, 10 yards here, 20 yards here,
oh yeah,
it's just it's hard.
I
But
just don't think Michigan can sustain that kind of offense
oh no, I mean
over a full.
even LSU before John Emery got hurt, Emery had like 70 yards before he got hurt. We were moving the ball with him,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm still not sold on Michigan because, like I said, quarterback I don't know what they're doing.
yeah. I mean, you clearly you saw it clear as day. Alex Orji cannot pass the ball. They're not having any type of passing packages for him. With him, they're literally going to try to run the ball down your throat. If it doesn't work, they're just going to play ball control. Their
Play
defense
defense.
is still really good. I will say their defense is still really good. But like I said, if that offense isn't working, their defense is going to get too tired out. You saw it against Texas. It's not going to work.
Tennessee, Oklahoma. I guess Jackson Arnold ain't the answer because they benched him.
Man, yeah. I mean, the guy that came in, the backup that came in, he could have won them the game if they would have made the switch earlier, in all honesty, because Jackson Arnold just looked like he didn't know what was going on. Had 2 turnovers in Tennessee's territory, and he gave the ball right back. Design QB run, he fumbles. And then on a running back swing play, a backwards pass. So 2 turnovers in a span of what, like a couple of minutes?
Yeah, back to back. I think as soon as Tennessee turned it over, Arnold gave it within like a couple. I think it was the same drive. Yeah, they gave it right back to him.
Gave it right back to him.
That
They,
defense for Tennessee is the truth. I'll tell you that.
oh yeah,
They're going to be
I'll
hard to
give it to
beat.
them. They played a top 15 opponent and they handled them very well. I think in that second half though they were a little lax. So, well, I'm not gonna say lax. I think Oklahoma's defense is actually pretty good because Oklahoma's defense actually made it a game.
Yeah. I think this is the next coach. If they lose a couple more games, um, he ain't gonna make it out the season. I think Hugh Freeze is on the hot seat right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You brought in these 5-star wide receivers. You brought in all this talent. Now, yes, it's not all his fault. Yeah, he's not the one out there throwing the ball. But you're telling me there wasn't a quarterback in the portal, somebody you brought in, better than Peyton Thorne? Now, I will say this. If Peyton Thorne would have played the whole game, I think they could have beat Arkansas. Because when Peyton Thorne came in, they did score.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
think the damage was already kind of done at that point because Auburn's defense was keeping them in the game, but at a certain point, you're going to get tired because there were like 5 or 6 turnovers in that game. Hank
Oh
Brown
yeah,
threw 3 picks, I think.
man. That quarterback room was just shambles. They should have just paid Cam Ward because Cam Ward would have been looking. I think he would have been looking good for that offense. At
Oh,
least the
yeah.
offense they have.
He'd probably be doing exactly what Miami's doing. Auburn's got a probably better team than Miami, especially probably on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think defensive side, absolutely, but offensive side, maybe not. I don't know. Auburn's a lot younger offensively than
I don't
Miami
know
is.
because those wide receivers Auburn's got, they're a quarterback away from being undefeated.
Honestly, yes, yeah, you right, but I mean
That
that's
Lambert Smith they got, that dude's really good. He just ain't got nobody throwing the ball. But
that was on
it
Auburn.
doesn't help that your running back almost every time he touches it, you got to worry about him fumbling it. They got to clean it
I
up.
know.
They just got to quit making the mistakes.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean that's the
But
biggest
as
thing.
far as the recap, though, that's about all I got. I think Auburn's a couple losses away. They might not let him go because he did inherit a mess, and it does take some time to get everything cleaned up. They might give him one more year, but
I think one more blowout loss for Florida, and they gonna fire old Billy Napier.
Billy Napier, think so.
I think so. I mean, he's obviously they got a big blowout win against Mississippi State, but Mississippi State is trash. No disrespect, but I mean, come on. I want
Yep.
to see a nice quality win for them. I don't think they're going to get that this season. I don't think he's going to make it out of the season. If you want me to be completely honest.
They'll probably let the rest. Uh, there's nobody on that team that they can put in
Yeah.
as an interim head coach. They don't have anybody. So
Yeah, I mean that's true. But I mean, you gotta you gotta do something. I mean, it's what are they working towards? I mean, so far in the past, they were better off with Dan Mullen. They should have kept him.
yeah, but now they're in a situation where they don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Uh,
They're
yeah,
they're very young. They lost their best running back, Trevor Etienne. They lost him.
yeah.
I don't know if Graham Mertz is the answer. Mississippi State they don't even have a quarterback right now. I don't even know who they don't. They said the other day they don't know who they're going to put quarterback. So their season's already done. I don't even know. They said they may have to put a wide receiver in at quarterback.
Sounds like 2020 LSU.
Yep, when we had to do it not the whole season, but our bowl
Was
game.
it for the bowl game? Yeah.
Yeah, we played Kansas State.
But I mean, if that's all we got for recap, we can go ahead and jump into predictions.
So predictions, we'll save the best for last. Auburn plays Oklahoma. I think that I think Oklahoma is going to beat them like a drum. Oklahoma might
Uh,
beat them by 30 points.
I think it'll be honestly. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oklahoma's probably going to beat them by at least 20.
I think it'll be a close game.
Auburn
I
scored
think
7 points against Arkansas, and Arkansas gave up 30 to UAB.
look, I think
And that Oklahoma defense held Tennessee to what, 25?
25. I think the Auburn defense is gonna keep them in the game though, because as you can see,
I don't.
a sound defense had
Oh,
Oklahoma
well, yeah.
looking
At
not
least
so
for a little bit.
Oklahoma-ish.
Auburn's just
So
got to be able to move the ball offensively because if not, they're going to get blowed out because their defense is going to get tired. I
it could
think
go
I
either way.
think it's going to be I think Oklahoma wins like 28-7, 35-10 or something like that.
Nah,
I think
I'm gonna
Oklahoma's going to
say
absolutely blow them out.
I think it'll be way closer than that. I don't think Oklahoma's gonna put up that many points because Auburn has a good defense. I think it comes down to whoever
Yeah.
makes the first mistake, but I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Auburn's gonna win. That sounds really weird, but I'm gonna say 24-20
Oh no,
Auburn.
they're not going to win. They don't even know. They've already come out and said that they don't even know who they're going to start at quarterback this week.
Well, you got
I
my
think
prediction.
Oklahoma's going to beat them like a drum. They're probably going to beat them at least 28-10.
20,
I don't
24
even
20.
think it'll be close. Auburn ain't scoring 20 points.
I'm trying not to sound like a fan, but I think against Oklahoma they can put up at least 24 and win the game 24-20.
They don't even have a quarterback. They couldn't even score on Arkansas.
Yeah, but every week is
Arkansas is
different though. Every week is different.
I just think Auburn's a roller coaster dumpster fire right now. They're in shambles. I think Oklahoma is going to destroy them. I could be wrong. We got Ole Miss and Kentucky. I think this is going to be this is Ole Miss's first game that they actually play somebody decent.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky is going to keep it close. I think it'll be kind of like the Georgia game. I think it's going to be a really close game. Possible upset.
Mm,
I mean, they held the number one team to 12 points.
that is true, but this is well, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go on more of the blowout side. Uh,
Ole Miss
I
just hasn't
think
played anybody yet, so they have Kentucky's got a good defense.
no, they do, but I still think Lane Kiffin is just a mastermind offensive coordinator wise. Um,
Yeah, we'll definitely get to see a first glimpse of how good Ole Miss kind of is.
I'm gonna go way high on points for Ole Miss, and I'm gonna say 42-10. It probably won't be that high, but that's just kind of I'm gonna just go for that.
Okay. I think Kentucky keeps it close. Um, I think I think it's a possible upset. I'm gonna say I don't know if it's gonna be that high scoring because they both got good defenses. I'm gonna say 24-21. Kentucky kicks the game winning field goal for the upset. I
Right
think
there,
Lane Kiffin's just gonna do something. Lane Kiffin's the kind of coach that they sometimes they get crazy sometimes and they just be doing stuff. So
yeah.
I think
He
Lane
he
Kiffin will cost them this game. I think he's going to put them in a bad situation, going for it on fourth down when he should have
yeah.
took the points.
He does roll the dice a lot when it comes to fourth down and not taking points or punting the ball away to play field position.
A couple other games. Oh, I'm trying to get away from the SEC a little bit. We got Louisville, Notre Dame. I think this is going to be a really good game.
Louisville's still
Um,
undefeated, right?
yes.
I'm taking Notre Dame on the upset.
Um, yeah, I think Notre Dame will just. I think Notre Dame's just going to be too physical. I think they're a better all around sound team. I think that they'll outmuscle Louisville.
Yeah.
We got Kansas State, Oklahoma State. I think that's going to be a really good game. I think that game will probably be like 45-48. That game will be a shootout because they don't play defense. But that quarterback from Kansas State, he's really good. I don't
Johnson.
Avery Johnson. I thought that was his last name. He's really good. Some people have him in the Heisman talks. So, speaking of that, I don't know the injury report on Quinn Ewers, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Arch Manning looked good, but at the same time, he looked a little suspect at times. He looked human. Let me put it that way. He wasn't just out. I mean, yeah, they beat the brakes off of whoever UL Monroe,
Yeah.
but they play. Do you know who Texas plays this week?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna look.
If I'm not
Um,
mistaken,
it's not Oklahoma. That's next week.
that's next week. Okay, cool.
They might have a bye. They play Mississippi State, so they can put Quinn Ewers in. They can beat Mississippi State without. I mean, they can keep Arch Manning in. They can beat Mississippi State with Arch Manning and
Oh
get
yeah, for
Quinn
sure.
Ewers healthy for the Oklahoma game.
Oh yeah.
But for instance, say Quinn Ewers is out a couple weeks. and Arch Manning
Okay.
comes in and they're still undefeated, do you put him back on the bench if he beats Oklahoma?
Yeah, you put him back on the bench.
A lot of people are saying that this is the Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady situation, that Quinn Ewers is hurt, Arch Manning's ready.
Where it's like you,
I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt Quinn Ewers, like draft wise, if they continue to play Arch Manning, especially if he misses a couple weeks and say he beats Oklahoma, and I'm not sure who they play after that.
you think they should just play him until they feel the need that maybe we got to put Quinn back in.
Yeah, kind of like the Tua Jalen Hurts situation. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no,
I
no,
think it makes a
it
lot
makes
of
sense.
sense.
Yeah, let him be
All
100%
right,
healthy. I mean, if you
all right, say they beat Oklahoma and Georgia with Arch Manning. There's no way you can put Quinn Ewers back in. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could. I mean, most coaches probably would, but I mean, you never know.
Because after the Georgia game, they don't play anybody else.
Yeah.
But I think that they'll put him back in. I mean, he's been your starter for what, 3 years now? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think they'll blow out Mississippi State. They'll probably
Oh
beat
yeah.
them 45-0 if you want the honest answer.
Uh I'm gonna give Mississippi State the benefit of the doubt and say they score at least 3. So I'm gonna go like 45-3.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't even have a quarterback, so they might not.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they probably I don't know what they're gonna do.
Their quarterback's out for the season with a shoulder injury. So, well, jumping into the game of the week, possibly game of the year, maybe Georgia and Alabama. Uh, I think Georgia is going to beat Alabama.
Why?
I think it'll be close. Well, Alabama's defense is just a little suspect at times,
Okay, agreed.
and
I agree.
Georgia's got a really good offense. But if Alabama can play if they can play like Kentucky did and slow Georgia down,
Yeah,
I mean, Alabama proved they can beat them last year.
exactly. I respect
But
the
this is a
decision.
little bit different of a team. A little bit different of a
Uh,
team.
I mean, yeah,
I
but in
think
terms of
Alabama's offensive line's a little shaky, and Georgia's got a really good defense, and I would be worried about Milroe running for his life.
oh, hold on. Let's pump the brakes on that. First off, it's not shaky. If you saw against Wisconsin, everybody was healthy and they ran the ball down Wisconsin's throat. All right. Georgia's defense, run defense especially, is very suspect. Reference to Kentucky again, because they couldn't really stop Kentucky running the ball. So Alabama's definitely going to do what they did last year. They're going to attempt to run the ball down their throat, which I think they will succeed at. They have too many good backs and your quarterback, who is very mobile. So I think putting that all together, Bama to win the game, which I think they will, they're going to have the explosive plays. They're going to have to test Georgia's secondary because we all know that, again, like I said, they should be able to run the ball effectively. That should be a given coming into the game. Passing, Georgia has a fantastic secondary. They have to make plays against that fantastic secondary if they want to win that game. So while I assume Bama will win this game, Georgia, again, like you said, they definitely have every opportunity to. They're the favorites by like 2.5 points. I think if they can stop the explosive plays, receiving wise, and they can slow down the run game, they can handle Alabama. Um, Yeah, I mean, like you said, Bama's defense or secondary wise has been suspect. They just gotten away with it because the quarterbacks could make throws. So Carson
Yeah,
Beck isn't
Carson
going to
Beck.
miss.
Yeah,
So I think both teams have a fair chance, but I'm going to take Alabama in a last second touchdown to win. We'll say 35-28.
that's exactly what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna flip it and say Georgia's gonna win 35-28. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Georgia's gonna control the ball and keep it out of Milroe's hands as much as possible because of how dynamic he really is.
Of course.
So I think they're gonna control the ball, especially in the fourth quarter. I think Carson Beck's just gonna make too many big plays on that Alabama secondary because they're young. I think they're freshmen, and like you said, Carson Beck's not gonna miss those throws,
Exactly.
or at least he should. Yeah, I think Georgia just beats them with too many big plays. I think that they throw like a. I just think that they get the ball. I think it's going to be pretty much. If you want the honest answer, it might be honestly whoever gets the ball last. To be honest with you,
That look
I'm
here.
not
Look,
saying
my
a
ceiling.
shootout. I'm not saying a shootout per se, but I think it's going to be a defensive game for a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it honestly it's going to come down to whoever makes those big plays because they're probably going to double cover that Ryan Williams for sure. They're going to have to cover him. Well, Georgia's got a good secondary. Alabama really hadn't played anybody per se with a great defense.
yeah.
So we'll have to see if he does that against Georgia.
Um, my ceiling for both teams is they blow the other team out. Floor for both teams is
I don't think Alabama will get blowed out. Their defense is too good for that.
well, yeah. That's why I said my ceiling. So that's the C. That's like top of the line for
Unless
like both
Georgia
teams.
just jumps on them early or Milroe gets hurt.
But the midline or like the floor basically is it's going to be a really good game, and it comes down to whoever gets the ball last.
Whoever makes the mistake.
That or whoever just gets worn down. Because if it's a defensive game, it's whoever wears down first. Whoever gives up the big play first is going to lose.
I don't know who's got the advantage because I know Alabama's got good running backs, but so does Georgia.
Yeah, but Bama has a
I
better run
probably,
defense.
I think I would give the edge to the run game to Georgia
No,
just be,
absolutely not.
just for I don't know Trevor Etienne and that freshman they got are dogs.
Yeah, but they played a solid defense. Run game wise, they played a solid defense and didn't do much of anything. Alabama has a more than halfway decent run defense, so it's going to be tough for Georgia to run the football. Secondary wise, Georgia has that all day. They got that locked up. Run
Yeah, I'm
game,
curious to see what Milroe looks like if the run game ain't there.
hmm,
But the fact that he can run changes everything
yeah, of course.
because you got to respect the run because Milroe can run. You got to respect it because if not, he's going to pick you apart. He's going to run it all over you.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, I think Georgia wins in a close game. I think they're just a little too much. I think they just make the
honestly,
plays when it matters most.
I I'm gonna be real. I can't understand why you feel like that, but you are entitled to your opinion. That's okay. You want Georgia to win. I feel like based on again, you can't really base it off the games that you see the week before because a lot of times, week in and week out, you get a lot of change in teams. So I think
Right.
coming into this
They both
matchup,
had a bye for a reason. That was
yeah,
planned.
I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't the first like 2 or 3 games in that they played each other. It's at least like, okay, we kind of
A
see
couple.
what everybody
Got it.
looks
Yeah.
like now. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a fantastic ball game. Looking forward to it.
This will probably determine who wins the SEC, probably. Who will be in first place, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tennessee's good, but I don't know. Their defense is really good, but Oklahoma might have a really good defense, but they still struggled a little. Oklahoma just couldn't get it figured out. They kept turning the ball over. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
that's
who
true.
you're playing. If you turn the ball over, you're going to get beat.
Yeah, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, that's all I got for predictions.
Well, I think that's all we got for today's episode. Like we said, exciting. There's a lot of good games on college football this weekend, basically. Not
Yeah.
every single game that comes on, but obviously there's going to be some low key games out there, but it's really hard to predict those. That's why we kind of do more recaps on those than predicting them because they don't just jump off the radar. It's like, oh man, this could be a really great game. So, as always, if you feel like there's some other games that we should be talking about, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and we'll be on the lookout for them. Add them into the recap. Just trying to get some engagement going. But yeah, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell everybody you know about
Still
us.
looking, still trying to figure out a way and time and schedule to do our first live thing. I think we're getting a little closer. It's just time really hasn't, our schedules haven't lined up for us to kind of do it, especially in your situation, Tavius. You don't really have the schedule that I have.
Yeah, but
So,
it's in the works.
but
It's in the works.
it's
It's all
coming.
good.
It's coming. It'll definitely be. Um, I think it'll definitely be. It'll be this football season, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna try to do some like TikTok live stuff on our channel just to kind of see, what the audience and stuff looks like for that. I might do some predictions, do some teams, who my all-time greatest team is, and we can debate about it. We can debate, teams throughout the years and stuff like that. But my plan is to do that in the next month or two.
Oh yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. But that's all I got.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it from us here at the TNT Show. We'll catch y'all in the next episode, and just be on the lookout for more recaps and predictions. We'll see y'all next time.